Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Grass Cutter. It's weird, it kind of looks like Micro Machines from this isometric point of view, but it doesn't actually play this way. It plays just in a regular rectangular style of viewpoint. It's weird. This is a game from Sometimes You, which are not known for running particularly well. Thankfully, this game kind of seems to have bucked the trend, along with the other game from them that I'm doing a video on today, but well, we'll just go and have a look around, shall we? Sound effects, music, and language. You have some skills here, but they're just unlocked by playing through the game. You get things like a gun to fire off, the ability to push things a little easier, some extra health, and some extra energy. Your energy is basically your time limit in this case. You do also have the ability to go and buy things like power-ups and different lawnmowers. And the different lawnmowers can have different abilities. Thunder, meteorites, dynamite, invincibility for 15 seconds, which is actually a really useful ability. Also, someone's going to get sued. Like, look at all of these. Like, these are obviously superheroes. Like, Superman, Batman, Captain America, Spider-Man, Deadpool. You get the idea. Also different animals, which is kind of neat. Although there's a lot of them. I don't know why you can't just buy one and then change its color, but, well, this game feels like a mobile port through and through, honestly. Especially on the start level screen, which I'll show you very shortly. But yeah, at least they give you a fair amount of stuff to buy, even though I don't know why you would buy a different colored lawnmower. They don't even come with an ability, so there you go. So if we hit start, we get to pick from a level. There are 20-something levels in the game, so 18, 19, 20, 24... 30 levels, and I'm through about half of them. Once you're through level 16, you unlock Master Mode, which is basically a survival mode. And we can also go and have a look at our rank, which is basically just our in-game level. Doesn't do anything for us as far as I'm aware, so let's just go and try and play level 17. The thing about the levels in this game is that they've become a bit of a bitch. It's one of those games where you have to do everything pretty precisely, and if you don't, you just have to restart the level, which means I'm probably going to be doing that a few times before I give up and go back to an easier level, but, well, we'll see, won't we? Also, if you want to know what convinced me that this game feels like a mobile port, not only can you buy pickups before each level, but it's weird, that little icon on the side there kind of looks like the sort of thing that you would do. But anyway, avoid mud with the box. Got it. Okay. So off we... Fuck. So, yeah. The game's full name is Grass Cutter Mutated Lawns. And that's a pretty easy to understand concept. So, the lawns have been mutated and you have to go and basically mow them all as much as possible. Like, it's literally... The plot is some crazy scientist dudes have gone and just wrecked this poor person's lawn with a bunch of mutants. And you have to go and mow the lawn in order to... Really? You have to go and mow the lawn in order to keep them from spreading and just breaking everything. Thankfully you can do stuff like that, just hold up on the wall and hope for the best. There are also pickups lying around, like you got a big-ass bubble shield here, which will kill any enemy that you even run next to, even for a little while. Oh dear. Wow, is that just instant death? That's a bit dick, I gotta be honest with you. Jesus. Of course, you can buy a lawnmower that just lets you go straight across the mud, but that means giving up another one of the power-ups. Yeah, the game is pretty arcadey. You are expected to have good reflexes in order to get through and survive. Which is not great, because the game actually has a tiny amount of input lag. It's not much, but it's definitely enough that it'll get you killed on occasion. Especially when you've got single squares like this game does. They'll kill you as soon as you go over them. Like, holy shit, guys. That's kind of dick. We're going to need that box over there. And of course, even if you do fail like a level that's like a couple of minutes long, they'll just make you restart immediately because that's what they do here. I mean, you do have hit points, but yeah, see, I timed that turn just a little bit wrong and now I can't get out of it. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh. Fucking water. See, the way that this game's input system works is that you can't, like, buffer a turn, as far as I can tell. You can't make it so that you can hold the button and turn immediately when you get to the next grid. It's a little bit weird, and it feels like the inputs are just a tiny bit behind you. When you first start playing, it's like, oh, the game turns almost immediately. No, it turns just a little bit behind you, which means if you want to do something at exactly the last second, you just can't. And it's kind of frustrating in that sense, because you just end up in situations where you feel like the game's gone and screwed you because you hit the button just a little bit too late. Like, look, I'm kind of stuck now. Well, maybe I can push it back down here. Fuck me. Not to mention the game pushes shit really quickly, so you do really have to be fast on the fingers. It can be dick. Real dick, because in order to finish all the level, you have to, and I repeat, you have to mow every single bit of grass. Fuck me. You have to mow every single bit of grass. What the? Why did he stop? I have no idea why he stopped there. That's not supposed to happen. Sometimes you get saved with random power-ups like that one, but... yeah, energy over. Fuck's sake. Let's just go back to the main menu and try another level, because I'm just going to be sitting there repeating that level forever if I don't. Level 13, why not? You can take pickups that you've earned back into earlier levels and use that to get higher star counts. This game doesn't have a trophy system like Mochi Mochi Boy where you can have the entire thing within like 30 minutes. It's just, it definitely requires you to get through the entire game, which is, you know, at least it's better. At least they put more effort into it than that. And of course you can also buy power-ups like the Bee Shield, which will save you a little bit of effort. I can also press select to activate my invulnerability shield, but I don't really have a position in which I can do that. Here's the thing though, the gameplay is just not that fun. It starts out being interesting, but by the time you get to these higher levels, where the game is like, oh, you have to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all the way down to P, and you have to do it all with only like 2 shots, maybe 3, if they feel like spawning a power-up for you. It's just like, no, I'd rather spend my time doing something else, and that's what the entire game turns into, basically. It does start out being neat, but it just can't stay there. Really? Really? Fuck you and your explosion pushing back the fucking box. You do have other obstacles, like these little weeds here that'll just take a little bit of energy away. Bit dick that mud couldn't be like that as well. There are also just other little obstacles like that, but they just become irrelevant next to the fast running bastards and all that. And you would think there'd be like some interesting levels that'll make you think like, oh, maybe I have to go over like shit. Maybe I have to go over certain obstacles in order to like stand a chance at getting it like a 3-star time. But as far as I can tell, there aren't any levels that actively make you do that yet, which would be interesting because it'd be like, you know, you can only get 1 star when you go through the first time, but if you come back with like a higher HP and then find a way to like speed run the level, it'll let you do it a second time. And you earn gears by picking them up in the levels and finishing the level the first time, and like here, getting them in this, for example. And you can use them to, of course, buy pickups or new lawnmowers. You get the general idea. So yeah, just after a while, the game just loses its appeal. Doesn't have that much variety to keep you going, and as I said before, it's just frustrating, especially in situations like this. I mean, I could have just used the gun, but this is me we're talking about. I can be an idiot sometimes, but you know, sometimes you just run into situations where you think to yourself, there's not much I can do about this, I just have to restart the level. Alright, I forgot, it's this fucking level where you have to bring that box over to the right in order to actually get the other box to bring it back over to the left, so I screwed myself without even realizing it. Pretty sure I did that the first time I went through this level as well. Excuse me. Probably didn't need to go over the top of that. Just the timing is just a pain in the ass sometimes, especially when it's reliant on things being on one square, because one square can go much faster than you might expect. It's really frustrating. God damn it. You know what, screw it. Let's just use my invulnerability. Oh yeah, pushes. They can do that. It's even more dick than you might think. So yeah, just look at this level. You have to navigate the pushes, get the box over to this area, and yes, you do have to get even the squares underneath the damn things. Get past these dudes, including that one there, which is just going back and forth. And this is at a point of the game where you don't get like that fancy ray gun, so it's just frustrating in ways like that more than it is engaging, trying to work your way around these obstacles, and that's just what makes the game not fun. It just makes everything just that little bit more frustrating than it really needs to be. And I don't want to play it anymore. Starts out okay, but just irks. Irks and irks and irks. Also the copyright violations and all that. I mean, sure, you could just, like, buy a bunch of shields and then use them to just coast through the levels, but you'd eventually have to start grinding for them. So if we had triangle on the level select, it'll put us into master mode, which, as I said before, is a survival mode. For some reason, it didn't even save my record. I'm not sure why. I got a record of, like, 200 squares mode or something like that. I'm not sure what they were getting at with that, but okay. So in this mode, you just take your, current upgrades, you go into a procedurally generated level, and you just try and last as long as possible. I'm pretty sure if you manage to successfully clean out the area, they'll put you in another level. And as you can see, you've got a, you've got this guy chasing after you the entire time. And you can't destroy him, he just respawns. Same as all the other enemies, really, but you get the general concept. You just have to try and evade him for as long as humanly possible, but sometimes it's just not possible. He's a bit of a dick in that respect. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all there is to it. That was a quick look at Lawn Cutters, or whatever the bloody hell it's called, because the name is so generic that I completely missed it the first time it showed up on the PlayStation Store. It's playable, but frustrating, and I really couldn't care for it. I gave it about an hour, that was all I really needed. It's not worth the time. Go get something else. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.